Hi, I'm Aubrie.
Hi, I'm Kathleen. We're two friends having a good time.
I happen to be a Christian, and that's okay.
And I happen to be an atheist, and that's okay.
Welcome to the Christian and the Atheist podcast.
Let's dive in.
Hey guys, have you left a review for our podcast yet? Head over to wherever you listen to your podcast and do that right now.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Christian and the Atheist, and TikTok at Christian and Atheist.
Check us out on Patreon for ad-free content.
And speaking of ads, if you or your business would like to sponsor the Christian and the Atheist podcast, feel free to contact us to get started.
Coming up on the Christian and the Atheist podcast. I'm over here like, I came from purity culture. I don't know, go have sex and see what happens. But it made me giggle at the fact that I was removed from serving with the kids because of my progressive beliefs. And now I'm in a place that embraces pronouns and kids' queerness. And I'm insecure about if I'm even qualified.
It's a similar idea, but you are a Mormon, then you're an ex-Mormon, and then you're a post-Mormon. It's where you don't think about it all day, every day. While you're in it, you're kind of, there's the mindset of like, oh, I wish this didn't happen.
Absolutely. I was so there.
After you're done, you're kind of like, okay, I know that needed to happen.
Getting to know people that I have met and really finding myself being fully me. Like, I'm meeting people and I'm not hiding that there's like this aspect that could be offensive to them.
Right.
Okay, God's real. Director Shannon, we're going to be doing the Ouija board with her. She put on my timeline, I feel like I've known you for years. Aww. And I've loved getting to know you.
That's so sweet.
I was like, words of affirmation. Yeah. You want to win me over?
You ate that up.
Okay, so no longer fit to serve update.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just jump right in and then add whatever I feel I need to add.
Okay.
It's interesting because it says August 25th as the first I feel entry.
Like that was so long ago.
It's October.
Has it really been that long since we
haven't really updated. There's not a lot, there's a lot to update, but it's not a lot like it used to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But here's a continuation of that journey. Okay. So I'm just going to say that this is going to be kind of personal, and I don't know if the other party's okay with this, but I'm going to do it anyways and ask for forgiveness later. So it's my husband.
Okay.
We got into, he's processing too.
Yeah.
And he's allowed to process the way he's processing. And at this point, he wasn't processing well.
Okay.
In a way that was respectful to me, I think. But he has since been like, that was me processing poorly.
Right.
And expecting something out of you. So I said something about being a Christian. I told somebody I am a Christian. Mm-hmm. And he said, why did you tell someone you're a Christian? And I was like, because I am. Mm-hmm. And he's like, but we're not. Because technically, do you believe this? And I was like, not really. But so that's what this is coming off of.
Okay.
But he has since apologized and said that he just got defensive because of what the negative connotations of Christianity.
Right.
Putting that on his precious wife and saying that she is that is not it's literally not fact.
Right.
And so for his brain, he's like, that's not real. You can't do that. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't like putting you in a negative light when you're not in the negative light.
Right.
Okay. So August 25th, as much as I love myself, I love others as well. Mm-hmm. That's why Christianity is something I still claim. There is an aspect of love and showing love to others that I can't let go of. There is Bible verses that speak love so eloquently that I have zero issues living out. I believe in the love of God and that I am loved by God, so I am to love as well. And I want to add, you don't have to be a Christian to love like this.
Yeah.
This is just something I'm explaining to go with the Christian thing. So my thinking like this doesn't mean only people that claim Christianity or you love like this. Mm-hmm. This is as an atheist, you don't have a religion or faith base behind you that is saying that there is a higher being contributing to this. This is all you. And I love that. So this is just me explaining. So I don't want it to sound like this is it.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe in the love of God and that I am loved by God, so I am to love as well. I shed the legalism of the Bible and Christianity. I look at it and the examples of Jesus and live accordingly. This is why I can't reject Christianity fully, even when I want to. This isn't a letter to others, but to myself, because I was trying to explain it to myself, because I remember the conversation so well. I was sitting in the car with Frank in the driveway, and I was like, I think we need to talk about this later. And he's like, absolutely. Or maybe he said it. I can't remember. And then like, I was still sitting in the van and I wrote it.
Yeah. Just trying to process what you're feeling and thinking.
And that's why sometimes I wonder if it'd be better to be married to a woman.
I think this conversation would still happen if it was a woman versus a man.
If you're wondering, we talked about this in the morning
show 40. Go listen to it.
But like, that kind of pisses me off, being told you're not a Christian when you are. And he apologized, and he gets to feel what he felt, and he was like, but that pissed me off. Yeah. Don't tell me what I am or I'm not.
Right.
This is why I'm a Christian. And if it makes me, the other shit come along, then whatever. Let my life be the example.
Yeah.
Let the way I live, the way I love, be the example of my Christianity.
Right.
Do I believe Jesus died on the cross? I don't know. Probably not. Does that mean I'm not Christian? I don't know. Probably not. But I like Christianity sometimes. Yeah. So I'm grappling.
You're allowed to call yourself whatever you want.
Yeah. So sometimes I say I'm not, and sometimes I say I am. So I'm sorry. I still don't know what to call that. Okay. So this is early September.
Okay.
Went to a justice revival. It was amazing. The part I want to note is how hard it is to join a new community. In my old circle and church, I was the progressive thinking one. This is so funny. Here, I am met with that, and it's taken a step forward in a way that I can learn from. So, like, as progressive as I am, and it's not a competition, but they're way more progressive.
There are people there who push that boundary on you instead of you being the one that's like, all right, everyone, join me. There are people who are like, love that you feel that way. Have you thought about this?
And also, let's have a justice revival.
What does that even mean?
So think of a revival.
Right. We don't have those in Mormonism.
No. Okay. So it's just a gathering of people, like in Christianity, in like, what's that word? What's the people with the long hair?
Pentecostal.
People that practice being Pentecostal, their revivals are loud. They're clapping. They're praising the Lord.
And then we're speaking tongues and
and it's kind of like
snakes bite people and stuff.
Maybe we're calling on God to do something extra.
Okay,
it's not your regular praise. That's my guess. So a justice revival at All Souls was the gathering of all the the civil rights organizations. Okay. So there was people that work with the environment, people that are LGBTQ plus community, the people that are for voting, for education, for all kinds of things.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's one that's a community of white people that are learning how to not be racist.
Ooh.
And it's run by Black people saying this is systemically in our society. Learn about it. Here's the information, and you take the class. It's like a freaking college course. Yeah, not like hard, but like it's a long,
but it's in depth and cool.
Yeah. So anyways, they're more progressive, and I wasn't used to that, and it's taking a step forward. Okay. It's almost overwhelming, but in a positive way. But even with this positive move / shift, I find myself having an ache in my chest. This is sad. I'm sorry, Aubrie, in the past. I know no one. I don't know anyone. But I know no one. That's not proper, but whatever. I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I am the new kid, and in a lot of situations, I'm going to be a young person in a sea of the older. That seems to be a hyper focus that I have.
There's a lot of people who, there's a lot of times that you're like, everyone's old.
They're so old, but it's like coming from a mega church.
Yes.
It's millennials and maybe a few boomers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gen Z. Call me crazy, but it was just a shock. I feel like, anyways. Okay, in a sea of older. Not always, but more than that I was. Man, grammar's hard for me sometimes. I'm working on that one, and it's not as painful, but it's weird. I'm also struggling with being asked to mentor the middle schoolers. I came from a Christian/evangelical background. I can teach that easily. However, in this situation, I'm in a new place or hesitation because Christianity isn't the main focus, nor is it focused on in a way I was taught. So I am okay right now to be in a class. So am I okay right now to be teaching in a classroom? Right. I don't know.
What do you teach? Because everything you normally teach isn't necessarily out the window, but it's not.
It kind of is.
It's one chapter of a large book.
Like, there is an office with a lady in it who has, like, contraceptive and, like, birth control and condom birth control, all kinds of things. You couldn't find that in any drawer in many churches.
No.
So
I'm glad they have that. That's important.
I'm over here like, I came from purity culture. I don't know. Go have sex and see what happens. That doesn't sound right. I don't think
that's really what they're saying.
That's right. But here's the thing. You know, when you're going from experience, you're like, okay, definitely don't say go have sex and see what happens, right?
Right.
But what do you say?
I mean,
and I know what to say. I know what to say in that situation. Right. But I do need, like, but in a church setting.
Basically, you're going from one extreme to the other, and you don't know what the other is yet. And so that's definitely nerve-wracking to be like, I'm going to teach a class about something that I still don't know. Right.
And then I said, I don't know, I'm sure it's fine, but it made me giggle at the fact that I was removed from serving with the kids because of my progressive beliefs. And now I'm in a place that embraces pronouns and kids' queerness, and I'm insecure about if I'm even qualified. Yeah. My head's in a funny place to be right now.
Talk about the other side of the coin.
It really is. It's still funny. It's a kind of giggly thing. Like, you can't serve here because you'll tell queer kids that they're living out their authentic self, so you have to leave.
And now they're like, hey, we like that you say that, want to teach a class. And you're like, what?
Right, well, absolutely, but now, like, it's not Christian.
Right.
It's so funny.
That's so funny.
Okay, I said, I'm ready to build this community as my own and it be what I'm longing for.
That's good.
September 27th, first Wednesday hanging out with the students. I didn't expect to be helping, but I got asked to. It was fun, and I found myself soaking in the experience. I don't know the kids, but they welcomed me well.
That's good.
Something about just being interested in what they are doing and the way and who they are is a good way to start to get to know them.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, I found myself leaving on a kind of high that I haven't felt in a while. Ooh. I might cry. Okay, we're good.
Oh my gosh.
This is the natural high you get when you're doing something that you love / you're calling. That's what I was kicked out of.
Yeah.
And then I got to experience the good feeling you get when you leave. Like when I would leave Switch. Yeah. When I loved it. It was good. Yeah. It was special to get to do that again. It was a connection to the church, to God, and to the students. All in all, a beautiful experience, and I really loved it. I was asked to lead the whole group Sunday because the director won't be there. Whoa. I only ever helped on a Sunday once, and I'm new to you, but sure, okay. It reminded me of being in Life.Church and the hosting pastor always complimenting my ability to take charge and do what needed to be done. It was nice. It was a nice memory that made me smile and be grateful for the compliment because who doesn't love to be told they are great? Yeah. It was also a fun thing to think about Life.Church, a leadership role I had, and not think, ugh, they hurt my feelings. It felt good to have that kind of lighter emotion towards specifically Life.Church.
Yeah.
September 30th, finding myself becoming / acting cynical, specifically towards Life.Church. So I'm like... Anyways, I wrote that. That's it.
Finally.
October 4th. So it's funny because I was talking about it to Frank yesterday. I was like, I'm tired of being angry. I was like, I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be angry. And then I got angry. And now I find myself having conversations with people at church on the podcast and being like, Life.Church is trash. Which the things that they are teaching against queer people is complete trash.
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
There are aspects that are trash. There are aspects that are doing good.
Yeah.
But that's true of every religion.
But I feel like it's like a rotten piece of me that's kind of, I don't want to be that person.
Cynical. But I will say, as someone who did this, there is a grief period and an anger period that is completely normal, and it's part of it. And if you are to not allow yourself to have that, then it's going to hurt your healing process in the long run.
And that's what Frank said. He's like, it's good to have healthy anger. And I'm like, I want the healthy anger. I don't want it seeping into like, okay, I just met you. Hi, let me trauma dump.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Does that make sense?
For anybody.
Like, I'm starting these relationships and I don't want to start them off like cynical.
That I do understand where you're coming from, for sure.
So that's where I'm like noting. And then on the podcast, I don't want to constantly talk crap on a specific church anymore. I did it.
Yeah.
There's comments on there and they're there forever.
Yeah.
I want to go forward with being like, okay.
It's like in the ex-Mormon communities, they call it's a similar idea, but you are a Mormon, then you're an ex-Mormon, and then you're a post-Mormon. Like, it's where you don't think about it all day, every day. You're not, maybe you get fired up sometimes, maybe you get sad sometimes, maybe you remember things and there's emotions that come with that, but it's not the daily of, I'm furious all the time about this. I am hurt all the time about this. It's like, oh, I used to do that. I remember.
Yeah.
So you have to get to that point.
I like that.
Yeah.
So there's greener grass to be walked on soon.
Yep. Time heals.
But like, honestly, I'm not in this like, oh my God, I'm so sad. Remember, I'd be like, I'm so sad.
Yeah, you were.
And I'm not in that place.
Right.
Which is so nice.
It's good.
And I'm so thankful for this experience. I appreciate said person who had the hard conversation. I'll say it a million times. Thank you to that person. Thank you to me for getting me there.
Yeah.
And thank you to her for getting me here.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. And while you're in it, you're kind of, there's the mindset of like, oh, I wish this didn't happen.
Absolutely. I was so there.
After you're done, you're kind of like, okay, I know that needed to happen.
So important.
Yeah.
It's a huge step.
Yeah.
A good step, too, even though lots of pain came from it.
You know, it's how it goes.
It is.
Anytime you grow, it's not going to be comfy.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And so I want to remember that.
Yeah.
And when the next time something breaks my heart. I know, right? All right. October 4th.
Okay.
Finding community in the church I am at now. Nothing better than having people come up to me that I've never met and tell me that they watched the podcast. So this is after we dropped the Finding God Unitarian Universalist.
Okay.
I got a lot of attention from that. I'm an attention whore. Sure. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm
sure there, because they not only did we interview them, they had you write a blog post and shared it. They posted our stuff on their Instagram. I mean,
they
Facebook.
were our biggest fan.
They hyped this shit up
hard,
which
didn't even have
to. Completely appreciate. Like, oh, you guys,
if you're a guest on our podcast, like your book. Is being promoted on our podcast. You need to share that we were on your podcast. Yeah, or you were.
Share that you were on it so that we can also share that you were on it, and then we can both help each other.
It's a mutual thing.
Yes.
I didn't go into this thinking these churches or temples need to share our content.
No, I didn't think of that either.
I
didn't expect that at all. Because again, this is an organization. They have their own stuff going on, and they may not be able to share a podcast or even just thinking of it. They may just have their own lives.
Yeah, and I'm like, cool.
Whatever.
And so it's a great surprise.
That was really cool.
And they thought that I would love to read some books and gave them to me. Shout out to Greg.
Hey, Greg.
This guy comes up to me with 3 books and he's like, I listened to the podcast /watched because you can watch it.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was great. I think you would benefit from reading these. And they're about Unitarian Universalists. Cool. There's the history books. There's other Universalists that wrote stuff. And you know how much I love to read. I'm just kidding. But like, I'm going to try to read these.
That's awesome.
It was thoughtful of him.
Yeah. That's very sweet.
And he encouraged me to learn more about Unitarian Universalism. getting to know people that I have met and really finding myself being fully me. Like, I'm meeting people and I'm not hiding that there's like this aspect that could be offensive to them.
Right. You're not censoring yourself. You're not having to.
And I guess I did that a lot more than I realized.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Anyways, I'm not hiding anything because I don't have to worry that I'm doing something against God or playing with dark forces. LOL. I got told we could play with a Ouija board in the church at night.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ask. They just came to me and said,
you
let's
should do this. They literally showed up and they were like, we have an idea, your Halloween episode. Let's do it here. What time? We got the doors open. Let's go. Okay. Like, don't have to tell me twice.
Okay, God's real.
There's apparently a ghost, and we're gonna Ouija it today.
God's
That's
like,
tonight.
Aubrie
We're
and
so
Kathleen
excited.
Would love this.
Yeah,
Here
done.
you go. Tell her this.
Finished.
Okay.
And you know what? We did love it. I do love it.
So you know how people like make funnies about like having a bingo card for the year 2023?
Yes.
I put that was not on my church bingo card of things that could happen.
That is always on my bingo card. I'm just kidding.
Really?
No. I might find a ghost. Yes. No. I'm just teasing. The fact that somebody at church is like, you should totally Ouija here. No, I would never have.
Even you couldn't. I couldn't have guessed. It's not on my bingo
Universalist, Unitarian Universalist. I didn't expect. I expected us to jokingly ask someone and someone to be like, I mean, I guess maybe.
3 different people came up to me and said, like, Greg sent us an email with the history of this ghost situation. He believes in it.
I love it.
And like then this
shout out to Greg again.
3 people that are like, you need to do this.
Absolutely.
Let's connect.
Well, good. We're gonna.
Okay, so I said, I didn't realize how unauthentic I was in my church community previously. I mean, I had a slight idea, but I didn't entertain the thoughts of it being a thing till now. Like, I didn't think I was being inauthentic.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of calling myself out now, which is good because growth. I ran into a really close friend. Oh my God. I wrote this down. Okay, sorry. She doesn't listen.
Probably not.
No, she's told me.
Okay.
She said, or I said, I ran into a really close friend at Life.Church at the store. It was like God threw us together, and we both were so excited to see each other, and we still love and care for each other, but I felt such a shift in our energy towards each other. So what was once very close is no longer so.
Yeah.
It's not anything negative, but that common denominator is gone. And so a piece of our bond feels gone too.
Yeah.
I don't know how to word it. I said word. Okay. I don't know how to word it, but I don't feel a spiritual connection with her anymore like we once had.
Right.
I believe she felt it as well. It's the natural way of things. And it's not like bad. I'm like, cool.
Right. It's just how life is.
Noted.
Sometimes you grow apart, grow together, grow apart again. It's just life.
It was just like we were really close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. But with that, I've found moments on Wednesdays or Sundays when I'm at the church and I have someone go out of their way to make me feel welcome, and it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Some of it's because of the episode we dropped.
Right.
But even before, there have been so many women who have gone out of their way to have me sit with them or invite me to a women's event or sat next to me in a class, and we laughed and laughed. Or texted and said they missed me when they missed a Sunday, because we missed a Sunday. And I was like, let's not go to church today. And I don't feel bad. Not that I ever did.
Right.
Anyways, I really feel such warmth and light that has healed the wounds I was carrying this summer. I thought I would probably be a bitter hag about Life.Church, but honestly, you want to laugh at that? Go ahead. But honestly, I wish them well, and I'm done being bitter. I want to stop talking about Life.Church as my abusive ex who deserves to be punished, and more so say, it was a beautiful thing until it wasn't. No more talk, just move on.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that will be the case every day,
right?
But I want to work towards it.
Right.
Cool. That's the update. Yeah, and like I said towards the end, like going in on Wednesdays and Sundays is such a different vibe than whenever I wrote about the revival, the Justice revival. And I was like, I'm the new kid. I don't know anybody.
Right.
And I thought it's going to take years to gain the community I had before. And I think there's truth to that, but it's not
it's not as drastic as it was then.
It doesn't feel so dramatic.
Right.
It's not like we live like hundreds of miles apart and see each other once a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, the fact that people are texting you already to say, hey, missed you today. Hope you're doing okay.
Meant a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's good.
Yeah. And then it was my birthday yesterday. Since I know technically it's not when you're listening, but one of the directors, I'm going to call her director, Shannon, we're going to be doing the Ouija board with her. She put on my timeline, I feel like I've known you for years. Aww. And I've loved getting to know you.
That's so sweet.
I was like, words of affirmation.
Yeah.
You want to win me over?
You ate that up.
I was like...
You're going to print that on a t-shirt and wear it and be like, someone said that about me.
It's going in my memory box.
Correct.
Don't
As
ever
it should.
forget.
As it should.
And hopefully my house doesn't burn down.
It won't. And if it does, you can grab your memory box. Or if you don't have time to grab your memory box, it'll be on Facebook still.
You're right. The internet.
The internet, which never dies, as we unfortunately know. When my memories from 10 years ago pops up on Facebook, I'm like, oh, woof. Yikes.
That ain't it. Anyways, that's the update. I think it's good. It's funny, I'll look at my social media. I don't update it much, but when I do, it's mostly about this church. So Frank makes a joke that we left a cult, and I'm like, did we leave a cult and join a new one?
Nah.
No, I just obsess over things when they make me super happy, and this new place is making me super happy.
That's good.
It's so nice. I'm clearly a community driven person.
You are. You really are. Not just church-wise, but you tend to want lots of friends around you to talk with and connect with. That's
special to
one
me.
of the things about you is that you are definitely a community person.
Are you?
Not as much as you are. I think I am to a degree. Yeah. But not
I feel like when I'm like, hey, let's go do this together in a community, like when we were going to be on a committee for something. You did that with me.
Yeah, I'm totally happy to do it, but I also don't, I don't find myself searching out that on my own as much. I'm happy to do it, but I'm also happy to take a nap.
Well, you're also volleyball's y'all's life right now too.
Yeah, and so that is the truth.
That's your community.
Like, that
right
is
now.
one. When we had a rough season. My 8th grader had a rough season, and the parents, when it ended, there was like a parent chat, and they were like, "Let's all get together. Let's, decompress together."
That's nice.
And I was like, "Oh, thank you. Yes, let's go."
That's so cool.
And the end of the night, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
And part of it was just talking about the season, which was crazy. There was a lot, and I'm not going to get into it, but part of it was just connecting with other moms who have kids who are the same kid,
I think y'all were met with adversity and had to work through that. And once it was over, you got to have a community to be like, that was a lot.
Well, and we do have something in common. Obviously, we have all 14-year-old girls who are all very invested in the same sport at the same school in the same club, and so there's obviously that camaraderie there. And so we were like, we should do this every week, we should do this every month, we should do this all the time. And so y'all are gonna grow up together. Well, your kids are basically.
Anyways,
but
I love that. And that's that.
Good job, us.
All right, we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye. We're tired.
Have you guys checked out our merch yet?
We have awesome t-shirts, mugs, tumblers, and other fun stuff.
Head down to the link in the description to give it a look.